Name's Don Fardie. I'm from Lakeville, Massachusetts, and I have a 1967 Chevy II Nova gasser. Well, originally it was the car came from Boston as a lease car through Claire Chevrolet. Came through as a 327 4-speed bench seat tinted glass 12-bolt posi lease car, and they had it for 2 years. A person bought it, street raced it, drag raced it, and ended up blowing the original motor, and it sat in a barn for 19 years. Then a friend of mine bought it, and I bought it for him in 1989. Pretty much dragged it, on the streets a little bit, went to New England Dragway a few times with it, and then a friend of mine convinced me to turn it into a NHRA Stocker. So in 1999-2000, I turned it into an F-stick car, campaigned it for 16 years, took the national record in 07-08 with it, and then in 16, when they brought in the Super Stockers and all the, excuse me, not Super Stockers, but all the Copo Camaros and the drag packs, and they were trying to fit them into stock, it kind of wasn't what I bought into. So I said, I've always wanted to build a gasser. So in 2017, I ended up selling my Stocker motor, got a Scott Shafroff 427 small block Chevy, and built a gasser and been having a ball ever since. Really a lot of fun, nostalgia racing. I really enjoy it. The front end was from a gentleman from BZ Rods out in Chicago. He's no longer with us, but I got his front end in the car. Like I say, it's a Scott Shafroff 427 small block Chevy. The bodywork was done through two people. It was done through Steve Broadbent at United Automotive in Lakeville, Massachusetts. He originally did all the bodywork on the car. And then after that, when I turned it into a gasser, Dennis Plodger, who was a friend of mine, runs a body shop. He ended up doing some of the cosmetics for changing it over to a gasser. The rear end drivetrain is mostly done by myself. I do all my drivetrain work. I run a Jericho DR4 for racing. But right now, I didn't race this. This first year I haven't raced since 1999, and it's been killing me. I had some back issues. So I wanted to drive it on the street. I was tired looking in the garage, so I says, maybe I could put it on the street. So I registered it, and I got an old M22 rock crusher in there with an old Hurst ramrod shifter for driving it on the street, because Jericho is just not user-friendly. So, but I mean, it was fun. Not the best street car out there, but it's a fun ride, let me tell you. When I was changing it over to a gasser, I was looking for a nostalgic header, and I would have liked to get a Jerry Stahl. I was like, because he made some great headers. Well, come to find out, which I didn't realize, ACP Headers actually bought out all Jerry Stahl's benders and jigs. And Greg Stump, he used to fabricate the headers with Jerry Stahl. He actually works for ACP, which is Advanced Composite Products. So they took on the header division. So these are actually original, all Jerry Stahl's designs, and he maintains the old school. He doesn't really get into the the LS motors and all that stuff. He can. It's just there's different plates you have to add. But it's mostly small block, big block Chevy, and it's the same way that Jerry made it back in the day. And they are by far the best headers I've ever owned on a car. These things are phenomenal, performance-wise and sound-wise. They're really great. So they called me up and asked me if I would bring my car out. And I was like, yeah, I think I can do that. If I had to put it on my back, I'll bring it out. The most memorable moment was the first time I took it down the track as a gasser. I was with a friend of mine, and I was like, what do you think I should do? And he goes, oh, just baby it to see. Because I had no idea what the front end would be like, having a straight axle, with those kind of like buggy springs on it. So I just took it gently down the track and ran a mid-11s with it. And he come back and he goes, I thought you were going to take it easy. I goes, I really didn't try to do anything. So I goes, I think I can put the snot to it. So the first time the clutch wasn't set up, I needed to put a little bit more clutch in it. Well, when the third time I went up there, it just went right up on the bumper, and I had no wheelie bars on it, and I'm like, holy, and I didn't want to lift, so I just kept on shifting gears, and it came down. But yeah, that was probably the most memorable moment driving the car. Immediately got wheelie bars after that.